Sunday Sharpe, do 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 do. Sunday Sharpe, do 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 do. Sunday Sharpe, do 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 do. Hello, 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 hello. Bit bright and sunny out, hence the weird light levels and bed hair. But how are we all? I hope everyone is well again this week. I shall do the usual. Time I fire up my computer to do something, I get about 3 million YouTube notifications about people doing videos. I think we might be there. Yay! Raining in Germany. Nothing new, Brian. Good to see you. It's been raining here in the UK as well, off and on. Marit, hello, my lovely. Yes, I've gone all floofy. I'm channeling my inner Zach today. It's what happens when I wash my hair. It just goes fluffy for a day or two. Hello, Anthony. Miss and Jason, Redfish, Bluefish. What up, my nerd? You driving? Drive safe. Good to see the progress you're making with your shop. All going well. Seems awesome to me. It's just a shame I don't live close enough to be an employee, really. Hello, Cheryl. How are you? So, we've got a bit of a gang here, so we may as well get started. And Priscilla's there. Hello, Priscilla. How are you, an X-Man? Usual. Oh, Marit's mentioned dinner. Undertaker's here. Anthony. Oh, hi, babe. Oh. Oh, bless you. Not taking the mickey. Well, I kind of am. A bit soppy. I've got to take the mickey. But then, I'm as soppy as they come sometimes. So there we go. Excuse the new beard trimmer for my birthday. And unfortunately, it trims it just short enough that you can see the scar around my neck. Never mind. All good. So fishy wise, everyone's doing fishy good stuff. Spaz has been eating entire algae wafers on his own again. I think one of the clown loaches has eaten another one with the size of the belly on that. And as the title, we now have 50 more pleclets, baby bristlenoses in there, and there's another 60 odd in the breeder box. So way to go, Spotty and Ginger. Spotty weren't too happy about me taking his babies away this time. He did spike me a few times. Can't blame him, really. If someone tried to take your babies away and all you could do was spike them, you'd spike them, wouldn't you? Yes, Priscilla, I have had a full-on mop chop. This is about 3 weeks after the fact, so it's got long again already. But yes, finally managed to get in. And other news of the week, been back to work this week, only short hours, reduced hours, with the issues I've been having, gradually working my way back into it, as it were. Just clean out the aquarium. I kind of like breeding my plecos though. They're always fun, and it's not like some fish. They're easy to catch. Get them out of the cave while they're wrigglers, put them into the breeder box, and leave them in there for normally 4 weeks, because by then there's another batch ready to go into the breeder box, then into a tank, om, feed them up, get them out of the little tank, move them down into the big tub, and say they're easy to catch. You just pick the big chunk of wood out and hold the net underneath it, and they all drop into it. Pretty much that easy. Yes, so there's that. I should be getting, or I will be getting, cognitive behavioral therapy and counselling moving forward. So hopefully we can get this thing sorted out once and for all. Let's say going back to work, I did Wednesday evening, Thursday evening, and Saturday evening. Suffice to say, I basically, if you'd put them all together, I basically had a 14-hour panic attack. I was pretty much on the verge of just being out, but I persevered. I got through it. So hopefully next week is easier. I'm in Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, so that should be all good. Yeah, should be off the tablets fairly soon as well, which is also good. Hello, just mismatched socks. Yeah. At least once I'm off the antidepressants, I can start taking ibuprofen for my headaches again. Because I get headaches. If they're in the front, I can neck paracetamol and that gets rid of them. If they're in the back, paracetamol barely touches them. Ibuprofen gets those ones, but I can't take ibuprofen with what I'm on at the moment. I've got some, yeah, that's light bleed coming from the shrimp tank. Yes, the Skittles colony is multiplying like crazy. There are well over 200 in a 20-litre tank, so I don't know whether that's classed as overstocked or not. We've got about another half a dozen buried females in there, so that's probably going to be up to 300 odd fairly shortly. So I'm going to have to find somewhere to start selling them. This is one of those things, isn't it? You breed fish, okay, store credit, fair enough. But when you don't want to be getting more fish because you don't have the space for them, and there's only so much food and things like that you can actually buy without just ending up with thousands of pots of food lying around everywhere. So store credit doesn't necessarily work that well. I'd rather get the cash because then I can use it for other things or in other shops. Yeah. Thank you very much, Cheryl. Yeah, it's been basically 30 odd years, so about time I got sorted. How do you do, Scott? Hope you're good. Yeah, that's pretty much where we're at fishy wise. So the killifish are doing well. They've settled down, getting more friendly. The Icaras have been getting a bit chasey, broody, haven't you? So we have these two over here are the pair, and then poor old Donkey is the one that's being left out, isn't you, buddy? Eh? So fingers crossed we might get baby Caras soon. Although I suspect the clown loaches or spaz might eat the eggs. And the shellies are shellying. They just, I think they've reached the point because they've stopped breeding now. So I'm going to have to move some of those on as well. Again, as we've discussed in the past, catching them is the problem. Well, catching the exact ones you want to catch, not the ones you don't want to catch, is the problem. Yeah, so that's all good. What else has been going on this week? Not a huge amount. I'm getting sent some food to test from a UK-based producer and fish shop and YouTube channel. That I'll say, especially for my Brit friends, it's Fishman Aquatics. Now, obviously, the videos are worth watching for anyone. But I'll say they do have a UK-based shop and they do online as well. I'm not entirely sure where they are, but again, I'll give them a shout out again later. So if you weren't aware of them, Fishman Aquatics. Seem a good bunch of people. As I say, I'll do a video on their food. Evening, Danny boy. Did you hear that? You probably know already. I think you're subscribed to every single fish channel on YouTube. And excuse one of the sponge filters making weird noises. It's baby plecos getting down down the lift tube. It makes it make funny noises. You know what baby plecs are like. They just go anywhere they fit, pretty much. So every so often when I go down the lift tube, it'll start making a weird noise. So yeah, so with the current hatch, I'm now back up to 300 odd bristle noses. Yeah, got to get the fish tube geek on. So yeah, Fishman Aquatics, Stan, if you're not familiar with, or if you'd be so kind as to pop a link in the chat to either the shop or the channel. Because you know how useless I am at these things. Talking, smoking and typing at the same time is just not going to happen. Of late, talking and breathing has been a bit of an issue. That's mainly down to hay fever, joy. What else? Slowly befriending 3 local neighborhood cats. We're gradually getting there. Oh, there he is, this spazzy boy. And yes, he's got the big lump in his belly again because he's been eating big old algae wafers, haven't you? Yes. Greedy guts. Thank you very much, Stan. So there we go. There's a link to Fishman Aquatics. So he's only got, I think it was 168, 169 subscribers when I looked this morning. So a few more won't do any harm. I did say I'd give him a shout out. So there we go. I mean, hopefully we don't get the same issue we had with the last person I shouted out. But I don't think we will because they've actually got a business to go alongside it. So they're not going to screw their business up. And again, it's always, as always, it's nice to see younger people getting into it, making a go of it. Evening, Aaron. Yeah, we kind of walked into that one, didn't we, Dan? But we weren't to know. So, yeah, you can't go with. Oh, you can't go with. You can't teeth in. Best line of plates for a Spitfire Mark 1 through World War II. So you're going to move on in the light blue, flat earth, and green. Malayo do a set. Tabby have probably got pretty close. Attacker do a complete set. Underneath is silver. Right, so yeah, we just want high speed silver, just silver, doesn't really matter which one. Yeah, Tammy has a lot of mixing. Yeah, Hasaka do them, they do a full set of paints. Vallejo do. Yeah, I mean, I'll say I'm one of those weirdos that gets on okay with Vallejo model air. Some people can't get on with it, but I know the Hitaka do the lacquers as well. That was quick, Mount. You soon stuffed that down your neck. Yeah, no, you didn't. I'll say, Dan, you didn't do anything wrong. I'll say you got to go through life. You can't go through it mistrusting, just not trusting people off the bat. You have to accept people at face value. If they do something, then to lose that trust or cause problems, you learn from that and you move on. Hataka, hang on, let me type that in chat for you, Aaron. H-A-T-A-K-A. There you go. Obviously, hard roll do, but don't touch them with a barge pole. Yeah, I'll say, is the fish fam, right? We're all nice people. Well, you know, in public. Every so often, a bad apple turns up. We had a bad apple turn up. We got rid of. Yeah, problem solved. I'll say, certainly, they're not Japanese. Sorry, Mary, it's something that happened a while ago. Someone that was brought into the fish fam, seemed a nice, friendly, normal guy, turned out to be a creep. Sending unwanted pictures to people, specifically young ladies. I mean, you'd have probably enjoyed the pictures, but you know, you'd have had a laugh about it. But the people that got sent them didn't appreciate it, so that person is no longer involved in the fish fam. The video I shouted them out in, I deleted. Yeah, you're you, Marek. You're one of a kind. They didn't just break the mold, they destroyed it afterwards. Oh my God, we don't want more of them. One of those is enough for the world. Yeah, that's the one, Priscilla. You know who I'm talking about, I'm sure. Yeah, deleted the video, unfriended, unsubscribed, all that stuff got rid of. As I say, Fish Fam is open to all, but we have standards. They're not that high, to be honest, because you know you allow me in there, but you know, we try and keep things family friendly. While we might have the occasional bit of a laugh, I think it may be a little bit too far between certain members of the Fish Fam who know each other. Yeah, but you know, do we want to mention the name, Dan? I don't think anyone is sub to them anymore. It is a UK-based fish tuber. Well, you got two little men in your life now. So one's enough to look after, but having two of them, geez. I struggle looking after one. Yeah, it was dealt with. You know, it was a problem. We fixed it. It went away. Yeah, so that was that. Yeah, big kids are handfuls. Yeah, we all are. I mean, the only difference between men and Men and boys is the size and price of the toys. Um, yeah. Howdy, Rico. Yeah, I'll say we still laugh at farts and burps and still pick our nose. Yeah, all that stuff. Um, yeah, we're just larger, generally hairier. That's the only real difference between a man and a boy. And let's be honest, guys, most of us really suck at adulting. Adulting is just not fun. I mean, being a kid wasn't that much fun, but it's kind of the same as being an adult, but with work and other dramas you have to deal with. Yeah, work and bills. So I try to minimise the amount of work I do. Yeah, I know they are. And good news, from Monday we're allowed to hug people in the UK. Oh, jeez. We're allowed to hug people, but not just anyone. We've got to be careful with who we hug, and we've got to avoid face-to-face contact, which has led to some rather amusing memes. But hey, I'm not exactly in a huggy mood lately, so that doesn't really make much difference. Yeah, but you see, I can always tell when someone's smiling, even with the mask on. Fortunately, with me at work with the mask on, people can't see just how tough I normally look. Uh, Bad seat, yes. I just pulled out a microwave gun, just flat packed in porridge. Oh man. Oh, I bet that. Oh no. Oh, bet that looked like a used condom, didn't it? Oh, grim, 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 grim. Oh, yeah. Try to keep 6 foot distance. Well, I'd hope if I suddenly turned up at your door, Priscilla, well, door of your shop anyway, I'd get a hug. I'd hope so. If not, I'd just have to fuss the hound instead. Should have had your tea first. Yeah, as I say, I'm looking forward to getting my foodie samples um, and testing them out, seeing who likes them, who likes what. I did mention I get through a lot of algae wafers. I just do Tammy's at Chinook. Yeah, I mean it's not that tricky to mix. It's just dark green with a bit light green with a bit of darker green in it. Yeah, yeah. The other people. Yeah, yeah. World War Two, no pre-war. Yeah, it's pre-war. I'm trying to think what a pre-war spit looks like. Oh, National Day tomorrow. I would say, does that mean a bank holiday or a national day off? Celebrate and enjoy. We don't in the UK. I mean, it's like Scotland has Burns Day, Ireland has St Patrick's Day, Wales has St David's Day. We have St George's Day, but we don't celebrate it at all. It's just not the British thing to do. I'm trying to find LPT, yeah. I generally just mix paint in and just a little shot cup or something like that. Uh, and if you do it, precisely with a pipette, you can easily mix more up to exactly the same. Burns Day in the wettest country. Yeah, Now, is it actually the one day you can set fire to things? Although actually, I'm not sure. I think Wales might actually be wetter, given my experience of Wales. It was either raining or you were in the cloud, or it was just about to rain. Probably got something to do with living 3/4 of the way up Black Mountain, though. So, so you actually do celebrate it. That's good. Well, perhaps you just had to celebrate in smaller groups at home. And how are your fishy babies doing at the moment, Marek? Are they all doing well? You have plenty of little whiplet eggs, bubby CPDs. Oh well, you just have to have a double size one next year. See, I lived in Wales for a while. It was a nightmare. Got another batch. Oh dear. It's a good job they don't produce in the same quantities as bristlenoses, or you'd be stuck. That is why I took this one, Bertie, out of that tank, because she was producing 150 odd eggs at a time, and try as I might, I can't shift 150 bristlenoses in a month. Plus the amount of algae wafers you go through, and courgettes and cucumbers and rapashi, and yeah, it starts getting expensive feeding the little sods. Let's be honest, they aren't exactly light eaters. Can't find any dry potato or porridge from home. I reckon ready break will do. Probably. There's probably not a lot extra in there. Have I got any? Mind you, if I had, by the time I sent you, you could have gone out and got some anyway. Your local convenience store should have dried mash, so you can pick some of that up tomorrow. Yeah, give them a go with a bit of ready brick. What's the worst that can happen? They start glowing. I shouldn't think there's anything in there that would be too toxic for microworms. New batch of Sturosoma. Cool. There are many jokes about the amount of whips you're going to have, but we'll avoid those for now. Yes. So what else has been going on? So this little guy has been around a lot again this week. He's been looking after me, making sure I'm well snuggled when needed. My computer keeps flashing up weird stuff. And the shadow person has been making themselves known. So what I'm thinking is, when I do my haunted Norfolk or Norfolk ghost stories kind of videos, I'm actually going to film them on the stairs. Yeah, it should be okay for another day. I maybe just open it up so they can get some oxygen, but that's about all I'd do. Yeah. Maybe just put the starter culture in a little pot, then when you get some porridge or dried spud tomorrow, mix that up and then dump the starter culture in the top of that. I don't know. I've not had microworms myself. I assume oxygen is kind of required. I fish my dad's fish room. Only 5 more tanks to set up. So you can tear it all back down again when you move. Oh yes. Yeah, that's why I'm not moving. I've only got 14 tanks running. So, you know. But yeah, it is looking gorgeous in your fish room, Priscilla. I am rather jealous, but hey, I don't have that much space. Although I do keep thinking about, could I squeeze another rack in somewhere? And then I think about the electric bill and it puts me right off. Uh, eek. Yeah, so I was thinking with 49 to be moving to Cali. Oh, yeah, that's going to be some doing. That's definitely going to be some serious doing. Yeah. Rather you than me is all I can say to that. Chrissy boy, hello. Poop emoji. Thank you very much, my friend. Always appreciated, never asked for. Well, unless I'm out of work and totally broke, then I might ask. But yeah, and you can handle it. Fur shirt. Yeah, this isn't a fur shirt. This is one of my birthday presents from Mary. So I'm wearing this today. So everyone can give me abuse. You'd army. Hope all is going well with you, Chris. I hope my purple pick did the trick, as it were. I'm a poet and I don't know it. Thanks, Dan. Yeah. So yeah, I was going to say when I do the ghosty stories, hello Tennessee Aqua. I will film them on the stairs. A, because it's the one place I can get kind of darkish, creepy lighting, but also because Shadow, as I now call the shadow person, likes to peek around the top of the stairs to see what's going on downstairs. Can I join Saturday's artsy streams and do models? Depends on the time and whether I'm working or not. Priscilla, that is the thing, as I do normally work split shifts on Saturdays and I work Friday evenings, so especially once I'm back to full hours at work, it will be very difficult. But if I'm about and I can, I will try and make it. Oh yeah, of course I'd wear it. You send me one, Chris. I'll wear it. I'll wear it on stream. I'll wear it in public. I'll wear it everywhere. Don't you go sending me a message. Send me your address. But yeah, I'll walk around with a poop emoji on. Cross, you haven't seen some of the t-shirts I do have. I mean, I've got a Marilyn Manson one, which in big pink letters on the back says "Everlasting Sucker." I've worn that in public many a time. And there's the Dead Girls Don't Say No. That's a Cradle of Filth t-shirt. Yeah, there's a general theme of naked vampire lesbians on quite a few of my t-shirts. And there's a Kid Rock one. I can't remember what it says on the back. Early morning, the Stone Pimp of the MF Nation. Can't stand it. Yeah. So what I want 3D t-shirt that says I'm with idiot. You know, I'm with the idiot, and it's just got an arrow pointing out towards other people, whoever stood in front of me. Pardon me. And I do have one it's faded and it's got lots and lots of holes in it, so it won't be worn. Which is Bomb Disposal Squad on the front. It looks very official. On the back it says, if you see me running, try to keep up. Tennessee, yes, Robert, yeah, I have built some model cars. It's the making everything. I don't do shiny very well. Shiny and clean isn't really me. I like dirty, weathered, mucky tanks and stuff. But yeah, I have done cars. I've got a Porsche 911 GT2, Nissan R390 GT1, Calsonic Skyline GTR 34, and a Porsche VSAC 918 that I've built. Oh, and a Ferrari Formula One car that I Mad Maxed, which involved building it completely wrongly with all the suspension upside down and back to front, and hacking the body shell apart. Other than that, yeah, I've got some either funny or very offensive t-shirts. I mean, I've got one that I can't legally wear in public. No, literally, I have a t-shirt that is illegal to wear in public. Well, I mean, it's got a nun masturbating with a crucifix on the front of it. Let's put it that way. You don't want to know what's on the back. Hello, Mike. How the devil art thou? So yeah, that was my hope with the filming on the stairs. Perhaps at some point Shadow might pop in to the video. So when I do those, keep an eye out on the background. You might actually see a ghost. Howdy, Big J. It's going to be a lot removed from Colorado. It is. Oh, Chris getting his second shot. Yeah, keep. Yeah, that's the one, Aaron. Yeah. So. Yeah, I keep trying to book mine, but like I go to the website, blah blah blah, go to book it, and then like the nearest one is about 60 miles away. So it's a case of getting lucky and getting there on a day at a time when they're somewhere local that is preferably the one in town that is open, especially with this new Indian strain coming over. Yeah, make all the hoodie finder confiscated. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's just for. So now I save that for things like job interviews, where I'm just going for the job interview, as it were, to make sure I don't get the job. Pretty much. If I can dig it out, I will. If not, I'll just find a photo of it. There are plenty of them. Cradle of Filth do have some of the coolest t-shirt designs out there. That's the thing. Just not necessarily suitable for public use. I mean, you know the thing. I mean, if you're out of work and you're looking for a job, but yeah, you're expected to do a certain amount of things every week to try and get a job, which fair enough, I completely accept. And then you accidentally you just apply for a few things just to get the numbers up. But then you, yeah, exactly, watch the videos. Then you might get an interview somewhere that you really don't want to get the job. So you go in such a way that you know you're not going to get the job. And yeah, those kind of t-shirts are good for that. I've had 4 times already. Unclean. diseased. Burn it with fire. Yeah, just give your bum a good scratch, you'll be all right. As long as you don't give yourself worms. Oh, fed the crayfish a piece of krill. Oh, yeah, no doubt that would get devoured. That's not something I've tried. I might have to try. Might have to try something like that. I know there's at least one big boy in here that would love a piece of krill. Well, he'd probably just eat the whole thing, knowing Spaz. There's no ember tetras left in there now. The only small fish left is one copper harlequin, which is missing a chunk of tail. So I think it nearly got eaten the other day or last night, perhaps. A lot of places hiring people don't work because it's all free money. Yeah, I mean, that is, I say, the thing over here is, yes, the unemployment isn't as low as it used to be, money. But when, yeah, I mean, if the wages are that low that unemployment pays the same or more, then there's a problem. The minimum legal wage has to go up. And that minimum legal wage has to not include tips. No, it should be however many dollars per hour minimum guaranteed. And tips come on top of that. Oh, we've got an Aussie yabby. Good old yabby. Yabby, 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 yabby. Tell you what you really want is a bunyip. One of them would do you great. If you could breed bunyips, you'd be world famous. Yeah, I mean, I've got to be honest. If it's one of those things where if I could be signed off and get enough money from the state to live off of happily. Yeah, I mean, I don't mean like go out and buy new cars and all this kind of stuff. Enough to get by and not have to worry about money. I wouldn't want to work. Heck, given the opportunity, if I could make enough money out of YouTube and fishies and stuff, I'd quit work overnight. Well, actually, not overnight, but I'd hand him a notice. But I'm a long, long way from that. Yeah, exactly. I think 90% of people wouldn't work if they didn't have to. I mean, there are, I'd say, been surprisingly nice Marret, which is almost more disturbing than normal. That is the problem. The rich will find a tax loophole. I'll say most. It is a small amount of people. I mean, people who absolutely love their jobs. I mean, teachers. People who have a profession that they do it because they love it, just for the love of the job, whatever it happens to be. They might carry on working. But if I didn't have to work, I wouldn't. If I had enough money, say my parents kicked the bucket and they happen to actually be far richer than I thought they were, probably not going to happen. And it was enough. Yeah. Staying home. Yeah. This is the thing to me. I find staying at home preferable. Howdy, fish tropic. Yeah. as I say, I've had a couple of lengthy periods of unemployment in the last few years. Weirdly, both 9 months at a time, and didn't bother me in the slightest. I was actually far happier not having to work. um, no, I mean, obviously, I pile on the weight and get really, really unfit really fast. But yeah, I just quite happily do that. It wouldn't bother me in the slightest. I've got plenty of hobbies and things I can do. I can look after my fishies, film videos, learn, and build models, go for a walk, spend time in the countryside and in nature, explore old buildings, old ruins and things like that. And yeah, so I don't get bored not working. I get far more bored working because working takes up time that I would normally use to do things I enjoy. Exactly, shoot the breeze on YouTube. You know, well, let's be honest. If I could make, oh, what, uh, if I could make £1,000 a month off of YouTube and selling fish, I would quit work instantly. Yeah, exactly. You enjoy work. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You've done your bit. Time for someone else to do it. Exactly. So, near the clown loaches, you behaving there, clicky clacking away. Um, yeah, I mean, I may only be 45 and been working for what, 27 years, but I've done my bit. I've worked bloody hard those 27 years. Um, but yeah, there is that pride thing of going out, earning your money. Being able to stand up tall and go, yeah, I'm good. Chubb, how you doing? Um, about the only thing up at the moment is my hair. Decided to go floofy today. It's channeling a certain cat. Um, yeah, so where was I? But yeah, I mean, like I say, if I didn't have to work, I wouldn't. I mean, that's not to say if I found a job I really enjoyed, then it might be different. Um, but as I say, I'm 45 and I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up. I got asked that when I was like 15 at school and didn't know. 30 years, I still haven't figured out what I want to be. Um, yeah, exactly. We all. This is it. Is there's only a finite amount of time. We only get one shot at life. So to me, it just makes. Yeah, I could get a full-time job and earn more money, be on more, more per hour and do more hours, and yeah, but I'd have less time to do the things I want to do. You know, um, I mean, I know it's not very capitalist of me, but I just want to earn enough or have enough that I don't have to worry about money. That's all. Yeah, that's and you get married who wishes she could go to work. Hopefully, Marek, hopefully you get there. Again, is getting ready for local club meet, banging up fishing plants, the Batman hat. Good. I hope you have fun there. Hope you move on the things you want to move on and find some new and interesting fishy friends and planty friends. Oh yeah, that is yeah, that's going to be nuts. Are we going to get to the point where Lucas Bretz hasn't got the largest fish from heaven anymore? That would be the one. I say fish room, it's more of a. Oh, going to be a talk on breeding plecos for profit. I can talk you through that one. It's pretty easy. Just get some plecos, you put them in a mature tank with some caves and some plants and a big chunk of wood, feed them, change your water, do a water change once a week, and it just kind of happens. The trick I find is to get the eggs into the breeder box when they're wrigglers, just as they're wrigglers, before they start free swimming. That makes life a lot easier. Because the one time I messed up and didn't quite manage it, I ended up trying to catch about 30 baby bristlenoses in a 15-gallon heavily planted tank. Well, I say heavily planted, it's not that heavily planted, but you know, plenty of hidey holes in it. It took some doing. And it was, I think it was about 4 or 5 months where every so often I keep spotting another one. Oh, God damn it. Parcel from Japan came. Oh, yeah, he said they forgot to post it. Yeah, that's. At least they were honest and told you that. How to breed pleco, keep it wet, pretty much. And try not to get spined when you're trying to get the male out of the cave, because that actually hurts quite a bit. Oh yeah, got nailed on the old imports and stuff. Yeah, that's going to be, that always sucks. But yeah, I say, what the breed business? You got 2 clutches, you went, oh crap. Yeah, leopard frogs. I say I'd like to have a go at some of the more rarer varieties, but yeah, it's one of those where am I experienced? Am I a good enough fish keeper to be buying rarer fish? I think probably the most exotic, as it were, fish I've got at the moment are Spaz, the electric blue acaras, and possibly the Australia killifish. I made it, so it didn't go over the threshold on the declaration. Yeah, other countries are getting smart to that one too. It's good to hear the club's doing well. So I really don't think there are any local clubs. I think the closest local club is about an hour's drive from me, which I know to my American friends, an hour's drive is nothing. In the UK, that's a long way. That's not something you do for like a few hours and then drive back. Leopard frog suit nice. 20169, yeah, fingers crossed they are a pair. Hobbylink Japan. Yeah. Yeah, Hobbylink, yeah, they are. They are very above board and legal. Pam is lurking and coffeeing. Well, we know you're going to be coffeeing, Pam, but welcome anyway. lurk and coffee, and give little hound plenty of fusses from me. IV coffee drip. I have thought about that. Could you just get like a bag of liquid caffeine and just be on a drip? Have it like one of those foam dome hats, just with bags of caffeine either side, just fed down inside straight into the vein. That'd do the trick for me. As we've discussed before, some nights I need extra caffeine to get to sleep. Weird as it sounds. No, struggling to get to sleep? Have an energy drink. Eyes are still slits. I'm not going near that joke. 6 June. Ooh. Yeah, so this is the thing, is the more exotic plecos are expensive, but if you can get them to breed, then yeah, you're gonna make quite a bit of money until you breed that many of them that the price comes down. You know, if you're like I am with bristlenoses, if you're trying to offload 50 of them a month to your local shops, you're going to get to a point where they're not rare anymore, and price of them. No, it was a rather racist joke, so I better not. My brain thinks the racist jokes just because they're funny, not because it's racist. I mean, I shouldn't have to defend myself, but you know, some people think that even if you think a racist thought, that makes you a racist. It doesn't. Yeah. I don't discriminate. I hate everyone equally, except for the French. But I'm English, so that has to be done. You know, we were at war with them for over 100 years. It's in that. Pam keeps up all night. And Mike, naps happen every day. I had a nap today. I had a nap. Yesterday's nap was kind of taking the mickey. It was more like a sleep than a nap. But maybe time for a World War to toughen people up again. Yeah. And as you can see, Spaz is growing quite considerably still. Yes. I mean, people are upset about putting a piece of fabric over their face to stop the spread of a lethal disease. What they're going to be like with air raids and yeah. Just I refuse to turn out the lights in my house. I don't like the dark. Boom. Oh my God, I got bombed. Yeah, no, what? No, yeah, not surprised. You're the only place that had lights on in a 100-mile radius. Yeah. Yeah. I can just see it. And yeah, I will have to catch up on Pam's stream. I say the list of things I have to keep catching up on is getting longer and longer. But hey, it means I don't have to watch normal television, which is always good. Yeah, trying to stop youngins going into shopping centres with hoods up. Now they want to put a mask on. Yep. Well, this is it. I mean, a year ago, if someone came into the shop wearing a motorcycle helmet, you had to ask them to take the helmet off before you could serve them, legally. Now, you're not supposed to serve them if they haven't got their face covered. Yeah. It's human, yeah, exactly. It's human nature to think there's all human nature know what's wrong and what's right. Exactly. And I think, I mean, right and wrong and all that stuff and racism and all this, but people have to remember there is a difference between a joke that is funny. It's not necessarily meant to be derogatory or you're having a go at a certain group of people. No, the joke itself is funny. That's the only reason. The joke wouldn't work if you took that thing out of it. I was like my Malaysian buddy, as I called him, Wee Man, because his name is Way, but just me being me. And so we're mates, used to work together, rip the mickey out of each other all the time. No, nothing. And this was back when I had long hair and a big old goatee beard that came down about there. We'd be out and about, see him in the street, he'd shout, "Oi, suicide bomber!" I went, "Oh, you communist!" And people were looking in absolute shock, but we're both laughing. It's like, no, we're friends. We can do this. He knows I don't mean it maliciously. Geez, I used to call him Chairman Mao and Uncle Ho. Not even Chinese, he's Malaysian, but it's fun and funny. But I think the people that get the most upset about it are middle class white people, to be honest. Well, I did read a joke the other day about a monkey driving a Porsche, but yeah, that one did cut a bit close to the bone. Exactly. It's the intent and the way. Yeah. It's Nazi salute. Exactly. Oh, got to finish the lionfish. Yes. That was looking gorgeous, as everything does when you draw it, Priscilla. You could probably draw me and make me look vaguely human. Marginally attractive. You'd definitely have to artistic license on the teeth and the 5 head. Although I expect that might be getting now. It's more of a 6 head now, isn't it? Yeah, there's definite 6 head going on. You just need to sort the teeth out, straighten the nose out, and sort the hairline out, and you can make me look vaguely human. Aaron, you don't want to see me kitless. It would white out the camera. Although I did actually do it when I was on one of Blackie's streams once, because he did it, so why not? There's far too many scars and whatever to try and explain. There's a reason I don't wear tank tops or vests, because I get asked way too many people. Used to draw people who like animals. Yeah, animals are generally prettier. And they don't get upset if it doesn't look quite exactly the same. Many, many, many moons ago, I used to draw sharks, but no, they weren't that bad. But yeah, just pencil, black and white, or grayscale. As I may have mentioned before, I am somewhat shade blind. Does make painting models historical accuracy. Does make that interesting. You kind of go by what the painting says on it rather than by look. So yeah, my perceptions of colour are different. Yeah, there's no soul here. That left long ago. Yeah, we are a different kind of animal. Yeah, well, I did art at GCSE and I got an F. So yes, my grade read F art fart, which again only I could manage. You got you, wow. Um, yeah, again, it's the same thing like with maths and me not showing my workings out. Um, yeah, my face definitely isn't symmetrical. The amount of things I've broken. Uh, Nose, jaw, cheek, eye sockets. I mean, heck, just look at my. Even my eyebrows aren't straight. You and me, baby, we ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. Yeah, Bloodhound Gang. Yes, I know. Um, yeah. There's not a lot of soul left in here. Definitely not. Sold it to the god of sex and drugs and rock and roll. I got shortchanged. I got the drugs and the rock and roll. Um, yeah, it's just sorry. Yeah, I know my singing voice is awful. But at least that one now it's fairly monotone, fairly easy to. You know, we're not talking Shoemaker by Nightwish. Yeah, if I drew what I saw in my head. Oh, geez. If I drew what I saw in my head, I'd get arrested. And certainly no one would buy it. Might inspire a few horror movies. Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing, Dan. Art is subjective. I mean, to me, I like to look at a painting or a picture, and it looks that is a really good representation. You know, if like someone painted my back garden, I can hold it up and go, yeah, that looks exactly like my back garden. Whereas some of the stuff you see these days, you know, what was his name? Was it Mark Rothko? I mean, to me, I just see like two black rectangles on a red background or whatever it was. I'm like, how is that some impressive piece of art a child could paint? Yeah. First few months of the first year, yeah. So I mean, I say like I was saying with the maths, where I didn't do the working out, it was just, oh yeah, that's the answer, right? Because that's just the way my brain works. It doesn't work normally. I think we figured that one out now. But the same with the art, it was like you're supposed to like how you came up with the idea and how you progress that idea into your finished piece, and then you show all these various sketches and ideas, and be like, "Here's the subject." All right, I'll do that. You know, there wasn't anything more in depth. I just, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Draw humour, pull my heart and soul. Yeah, oh, a loose piece of thread. Um, yeah, I was saying, I'm just glad I didn't go for sociology because I would have screwed that one up real bad. Um, or any kind of social studies, I would have been really bad at because it's just not the way my brain works. Yeah. Calculating and putting facts together and things like that, my brain does, but emotion it doesn't do. It just doesn't handle very well. So I learned, yeah, exactly. We've all got something of a creative streak in us. It's just finding the way to express it. And I say fish tanks and YouTube videos are the way you can do it. That's the way you do it. I know I build models and people say that's being creative, but now when it's something historical, you're not being creative. You're following instructions to build a model, and you're painting it the way it was painted in real life. You're just copying. Um, the only real creativity to me is when it comes down to weathering and what have you. But if you're working from again a real thing, then you're copying that. Yes. Year seven. Year seven. So that is, oh, no, that's first year, right? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know the sci-fi and fantasy stuff. Yeah, I do generally just make it up. Um, so I didn't do music purely because I couldn't stand the music teacher. Um, have I got any? I mean, the picture's probably going to be awful, but let's see if we can. Let's see if we can find an example of historically accurate and something Sharpe got funky with. Ugh, let's see. There should be something around here relatively historically accurate that isn't covered in a ton of dust. Uh, well, it's covered in a ton of dust and spider webs, but so again, I don't know how well that's going to show up, but Ukrainian T-72 in its actual how it really was in real life. And yes, there's about 1,000 parts to that model, not including the spider webs. And this thing covered in dust, absolutely smothered. Oh God, this is. Oh, yeah, I'm almost scared to show this one because of the levels of. You probably saw all that coming off. But yeah, that's how I've added parts, taken parts off, painted it in whatever colours I felt like. So we got candy purple, iridescent blue, candy red, spider web. You know, just made that all up as I went. God awful kit, mind you. Absolutely god awful model kit. Yeah, third year is options. What brand of models do I prefer? Oh, I like Trumpeter for the modern Russian armor. I like Mini Art for the older Russian armor. You'll notice there's a theme going on here. Tamiya for planes, if possible. Tamiya's armor I don't enjoy. I find it too simple. Goes together too quickly. Fantasy wise, sci-fi wise, I normally go Games Workshop. I think part of it is just the speed I build at, really. I like extremely complicated fit kits. You know, 1,000+ parts means it's good. One of the Trumpeter T90s is 1,600 parts, and I've built like 3 of those, or 4, or was it 5? I can't remember. Yeah, I find the simpler kits, I just put them together really quickly, and they don't really interest me then that much. Yeah, I'll say Trumpy are good. I mean, I like the kit to fit properly. No, I'm not a fan of having to fill loads of gaps and fudge things around to make them fit. And so most people don't like the kits I like, purely because of I wouldn't say they're not hard to build. They just got a lot of pieces. As I said, I'd rather put together a kit with 1,000 parts that fit together properly than a kit with 100 parts that don't fit. And I don't do German. That is kind of more of a joke thing, though. I have built panthers, a tiger, a king tiger, or target and king target, a bunch of other German stuff, but it's just massively overpopular in the hobby. Okay, everything near cost is still expensive. Yeah, it is. If anything, it's more expensive than keeping fish. In these days, yeah, I do. I mean, that's one reason I stay away from the car kits completely. I find them frustrating that it's like stick 2 bits together and then you've actually got to paint them before you can do something else. So you constantly got little sub-assemblies that you're waiting for dry while you're gluing another couple of bits together. And pardon me, I prefer just right. Get stuck into the build. The build's done. Get stuck into the paint. The paint's done. Decals, weathering, in an order. Yeah. Stay away from. Yeah. So, I've not done any plats. I did the Aoshima Lancia Stratos. Fujimi. I've done a couple of Fujimis. one cart, I can't remember what it was, but that went in the bin. And the 1/72 Black Bunny Phantom, the one with the Playboy markings on it. That was a dog of a kit to build as well. Oh, it looks good once it's done, but it was a dog to build. Yeah. But then I enjoy special hobby kits, and they need a lot of work. But you know what you're getting yourself in for. You want to go troops, get the bummer down, round up the bigger human fry for dinner. Oh, have fun and don't have ready break. Thanks for turning up. So now just get the kit when you've already got the paint. That's a good way to go. Fortunately for me, the amount of paints I've got, I don't have to worry about that. I can usually find something close enough. Weirdly, it's one of the things I tend not to actually get called out for is the wrong colours. I mean, hell, that panther I painted pink, I got called out for putting the wrong gun on it. Like, you do realise it's pink with big Russian markings on it. You realise I'm not taking this seriously. And the tracks are shiny in chrome. Yeah. That kind of... well, yeah. Well, so stay safe, Dan. So there we go. So, random modelling talk done with. Anything else anyone would like to talk about? Oh yeah, I don't buy aftermarket generally. It's very rare I do buy anything. But then, you know, if you're buying highly detailed kits already, you don't need the aftermarket. So now we've managed to completely alienate all the fish keepers. Yeah. Yes. Completely random other subject. Found a YouTube channel that was quite interesting called The Hoof GP. He's a Scottish, not vet, but he goes around trimming cows' hooves on farms. Actually quite interesting. Now, I didn't even realise they did it. Yeah, that's all good. Yeah, I'll say when it's only a few quid for a bit of photo etch, you don't mind, but when it's the other one I don't get is people who automatically think that every tank needs, or every armor model needs an aftermarket metal barrel and aftermarket tracks. Yeah, exactly. This is what I like about the way my channel's gone. Is we have modelers, we have fish keepers, we have paranormal peeps, we have all sorts of people. We talk about all sorts of things, you know. The only things we try and stay away from are religion and politics because that just causes arguments, full stop. And it's just a good rule for anyone on YouTube to stay away from those two subjects, unless you have a religion or a politics-based channel. Otherwise, you're just going to upset people. Oh, hello, Dave. Yeah, you're not very well, are you, bub? Huh? Oh, you're getting old, is that what it is? Hey, bless you. Does anyone actually know how long bristlenose plecos would normally live for? Because I've had Dave now for 3 years. Well, she's got to be 3 years old. I know she's still finding plenty of food because she gets fed. And Bertie, the other bristlenose, in there. Yeah, until I hit the pan. Yeah. But yeah, she is looking very skinny. My food's going in and it's coming out. She's eating and pooping normally, but it's kind of wasting away. Up to 12 years. Righty ho. But yeah, you're a good girl, ain't you, Dave? As I say, she's eating and pooping plenty, so I don't know. Perhaps maybe try and catch her out and put her somewhere else where she hasn't got any competition, as it were, for food. But yeah, I don't eat fish either, but and that's not because I keep them. It's blooming expensive. I mean, I eat tuna, like tuna sandwiches or whatever. Tuna rice is always a good one. But yeah, generally I don't, because to me it has no flavour. I mean, like cod or pollock or whiting, any of those they all taste of nothing to me. But again, no sense of smell, bugger all sense of taste. Up to 12 years. So I think we might have to try and catch you out of there, Dave. That's going to be tricky, I know, but we might have to see if we can catch you and put you somewhere else. See if that does the trick. Because it might be that either Bertie is getting to the algae wafers first and Dave's not getting a chance. But I mean, there's plenty of algae and wood and whatever in there for him to eat. So I don't know. Everyone else is looking happy and healthy. Some of them are looking rather fat, actually. And you happy caras and clowny loaches. And Bertie's good and fat. Spaz is definitely good and fat. Oh, yeah. I don't know. It might be because I've never bred from Dave. It could be that. I don't know. But as I say, one of the first fish I had, so probably didn't have the best start. But I shall do what I can for her. Make sure she does get plenty of food. We'll see if we can. I'll see if I can catch her and move her somewhere else. Although catching anyone in that tank is a bit of a nightmare. The spaz and the Icaras won't be too bad because they can't exactly disappear too well. Yeah, weirdly, my females are bigger than my male. Yeah, temperature's about right. Yeah, so temperature's fine, the water's fine. She might have caught something. Might have some kind of problem that I'm not aware of. I could have done something wrong when she was younger and considerably shortened her lifespan. Who knows? So have I got anywhere I can actually sensibly move her to? Perhaps in with the killifish. Because now they've managed to kill 2 of the ember tetras in there as well. So, you know, well, one of them died of natural causes, and the other one just got eaten, I think. You know, the perfectly happily swimming around one day, you come down the next day and there's half of one floating on the surface. I think the killies might be breeding, so that might explain that one. If the ember tetra tried to eat the killie eggs. But I'm not exactly, I know it sounds wrong, but I'm not exactly worried about an ember tetra, you know, in the grand scheme of things. Nope. That's no good. Out of cigarette papers. Pardon me, and burping. Back in a mo. It's like, you know, I do wonder regularly what other fish I could add into that tank, because they got to be relatively docile to get on well with the other inhabitants, the Acaras especially. I mean, Spaz will look after himself. But they've also got to be big enough to not be eaten by Spaz, the Bashir. But they're not too big. So, yeah, it's a interesting conundrum. So I would go Corys, but you know, they're kind of Spaz snack sized. Then I don't think it's going to be much longer before he gets to a size where he is too big for the tank. He or she, wherever he's hiding, probably inside his tree stump. He's a good fish. I say he'll be easy to catch when the time comes, because the size of him, so he can't hide. I mean, he can hide, but he's easy enough to find, and pretty much blind, and is friendly, likes a stroke and a fuss. Now, when I'm doing water changes, I'll stick my hand in, I'll give him a stroke. Doesn't mind at all. He just stays there, has his fuss. So when it comes to catch him, might not even need a net, might just be able to pick him up and lift him out. The only problem I'm going to have is what size is finding a big enough bag to put a 8-10 inch long shear in to take it down to the LFS and hope they've got an empty tank to put him in. I hope they don't do something dumb like stick him in a tank with a bunch of tetras or guppies or something, because they will come down in the morning and realise that, well, our tetras or guppies gone. And I've got one very fat and happy looking bashir sat in the tank. But yeah, Spazzy's a good boy. The Icaras are generally, they've been having a bit of a squabble, but again, I think that's breeding kind of behaviour. You can see the size of Bertie's belly on her. Quite happy. And yeah, you got a beard again, haven't you? You've been eating the blackbeard algae. You're a good girl. Yes, yes, I have a bristlenose that eats blackbeard algae. There's just a tank full of weirdness. I mean, now Bashir that eats algae wafers is weird enough. We've got all the various bubby plex and quibbies over here. Oh, geez, they'll all come up. Hello. Yeah, not going to be too long before you're sellable, is it, eh? No. Keyhole or firemouth cichlids. Yes, yeah. If I can find them. I'll do a bit of research on them first. I did try some dual cichlids and that ended very badly. It ended up with 3 very chewed up looking acaras, one slightly chewed up looking Bashir, one badly bitten dual cichlid that got caught by said Bashir trying to nip him, and then they started killing each other when I took them out. Yeah, I'll say so. It's a 50-gallon, currently home to 2 bristlenoses, 3 acaras, 2 clown loaches, and a Bashir. I know the filters can cope with a bit more muck, as I clean them out every week. Same as I do all my filters, they all get cleaned out every week. Well, the sponges do. Now, while I'm doing the water change, it takes another minute or 2 to clean the sponges out of the filters. Just seems common sense to me. While I've got the lid off and everything being done like that, might as well. Plus, I've got kind of a theory that sort of discourages the bacteria from all living in the filter. And if there's other small aquatic life in there, I leave it as well. I find sea shrimp, they stay there. Scuds, they get eaten. Obviously, if I found leeches or planaria, I'd do something about it. But fingers crossed, we've been planaria free for quite a while now. But I do think that is why some people do have issues, is that I'm not saying they keep their tanks too clean, but you see the people who panic about, oh my God, what is this? What type of snail is this? Just let it be. Yeah, Geophagus would be kind of cool. It's not a sand substrate in there though, Chubbs. It's fluval stratum. Well, it's breaking down, so it might be okay. I'll say, because I know they do like to dig, which is a bit of an issue. But all the plants in there are well rooted now. I'm pretty sure some of the crypts, the roots go basically right across the tank. So yeah, maybe a geo. So I have tried rams before, but they wouldn't work in there. They would just be snacks. What are you doing, silly shellies? Look, just as I'm sat by the tank, it doesn't mean you're going to get fed again. Yeah, geo would be cool. Yeah. I'll say keyhole, fire mouths. I was kind of thinking about maybe a Severum, but I thought that'd probably get a bit too big. And I don't really want to be buying fish that I know are going to outgrow the tank. No, do not. Yeah, right. No severums then. When I got Spaz this year, I knew he was going to outgrow the tank. I knew full well, but I did have a plan in mind for when that happened. I mean, I wasn't necessarily expecting him to grow quite as quick as he has done. When I got him, he was about that big. He's like, yeah, I'll be fine. Now he's like that and that around, and literally eats anything I put in there for food. Only all my fish do, but they don't get fed the same thing 2 days in a row. They get fed different things regularly. The tank will be destroyed. Fair enough. No severums then. The other thought was perhaps an angel, but I had issues with the last angel I had. She went rogue. And also chances are probably would, well, you know, I know Spaz could get an angel in his mouth quite easily. See, whatever it is, it's got to get on well with happy caras, because I do love them. Gorgeous fishies. And they're actually quite expressive. You can tell when they're not happy. They actually look miserable. Don't you? Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, you didn't you? Yeah, I don't really want convicts. I'm having enough trouble with shifting crebensis fry. Well, I say fry up. I've got probably 40 or 50 that are an inch and a half long now. Cribs. So yeah, we don't want any more of them. So I mean, ideally, I would like to be able to breed the Acaras. I'm pretty sure the fry would be safe. It's just whether they could get past egg stage to fry stage, because I know Spaz won't bother trying to eat something that small. It's just not worth the hassle for him. So, rubbing my thumb, I managed to get a nice blister on it. Yeah, exactly. So, any LFS I go to, there are tankfuls of convicts. Yeah. Basically, what happens is I hold my lighter, light it, and I go to light my cigarette. And every time the flame touches that side of my thumb, I end up, it was actually quite a deep blister. I didn't even realise it was blistered till it popped. You know, it was a deep one. Ugh. Yeah, exactly. So now I'm trying to make sure I go that way rather than that way. I've been lighting cigarettes for 30 years and only just started burning myself. I don't know. Make good feed. Yeah. So, I mean, the problem is the only tank I've got anything in that would eat convicts is that one. So, and they're kind of aggressive. Super shorts. Yeah, we've all done that. We've all done that with super glue, glued things to ourselves. The really good one is when you're wearing cotton, and yeah, the deluxe, yeah, you're wearing cotton, you accidentally drip some super glue onto your cotton shorts, and they start smoking. That's a bit alarming. Or And if you try gluing balsa wood with super glue, it does actually catch fire. Or if you just drop it on tissue paper, you know, toilet paper, yeah, that will catch fire as well. Yes, I've known people who tried to wipe up spilt super glue with paper and then found themselves having a fire, which is yeah, it's a thermic reaction. It sets with heat. And whatever you do, don't use an accelerator. If you use it to glue a cut, right, which works perfectly well, don't use accelerator. Leave it, spill it on your desk, leave it, yeah, just don't do what I did. Have it on the desk, bend over, pick something up off the floor, go, oh, I've super glued my head to my workbench. That scar there? Yeah, that's where I glued myself to my bench. And that was using acetone to try and de-stick myself. And it's still less painful than the time my soldering iron rolled around on the bench and I picked it up by the hot end. That wasn't pleasant. It didn't hurt at the time. I just heard a sizzling noise and it was, oh, whoops. It was a few days later when the cauterized flesh started to fall off. That's when it really hurt. Acetone didn't work. Yeah. It can take a while. But yeah, I just really didn't want to be stuck, literally with my head stuck to the bench for too long. Yeah, I mean, I say when I talk about me and dumb injuries, yeah, things like that, or you know, picking up the scalpel by the wrong end, you know. Glad glue didn't get to the middle of the chart. Oh, someone's going to be starting a fire with super glue and paper when they get home. Yeah, it'll do that. It's got to be the runny type. The gel type won't do it, but the runny type will. Oh, is that Fat Clowny? No, there's Dave. Dave again. Yeah, you're hunting for more foodies. If I stick any more algae wafers in there, the rest of them will all get fat. Spaz is already trying to sleep off one, and the clown loach is already trying to sleep off another one. Yeah, Jess is going back into the shop to get super glue and toilet roll. Yeah. Yes. If you really want to kickstart it, use the accelerator on it because don't do that on a cut because it's like molten lava. You glue the cut up, but you give yourself third-degree burns doing it. Yeah, been there, done that one more than once. Oh, yes, hello, pleclets. Yes, I know there's a lot of you in there. So what else? Was there anything anyone else wanted to talk about? Ask a question. Make a point. Want a shout out? Anything like that? Because we got another 15 minutes to go, and I've pretty much run out of stuff to waffle about, and I'm getting glared at from behind. And I hear movement upstairs as well, so shadow person is about. So we've got nine people. How to paint and strip aftermarket rims at the chrome, and require a chrome lip. Depends on the manufacturer. If the chrome is fairly decent, like a Tamiya or something like that, rather than Italeri, I wouldn't dechrome it. I would mask off the bit you want to keep chrome, then probably using wire wool or such, scuff up the rest of the wheel. Yeah, I mean, say, Aishima, it should be okay. It shouldn't be like super thick and gunky and horrible like the Italeri stuff was. So yeah, I'd mask off the bit you want to keep shiny and chromy, and scuff up the bits you don't want, and then you can prime and spray, and it should help the paint stick to what was chrome. And when you're all done, unmask the bit you want it to stay shiny. That's the way I'd do it anyway. Still at the storage, have any more flammable ideas? Oh, I have plenty. I could tell you how to make napalm, but I think that would get me demonetized. I could also tell you how to make plastic explosives, but that would also get me demonetized. Bleach is the best dechromer, generally. Just don't use an aluminium dish. Yeah, I did that. Because you know the chrome it's stripping off is aluminium. Yeah. Yes, I woke up, went to the cave and found a big puddle of bleach all over the bench because it had eaten through the foil container. You know, like a... Yeah. See, there we go. Just burnt my thumb again. Yeah. Classified as this. Yeah. And these things are freely available on the internet anyway, but I learned these things pre-internet. From a certain book, a certain cookbook, and a bit of chemistry. Yes, childhood chemistry sets were great fun. Whilst most people use their childhood chemistry set to make pretty crystals, I was making explosives and chlorine gas. Yeah. I could also tell you how to make the black powder so you don't have to buy the fireworks. But it does involve digging through cow dung. But then I'm old enough to remember where you could go to the chemists and buy the ingredients to make black powder. I also remember when you could go to the chemist and buy a bottle of hydrochloric acid that would eat through concrete and steel. You know, no questions asked. You just bought the hydrochloric acid. I think it was meant for like cleaning drains or whatever. So you'd buy the bottle and you'd water it down big time. But yeah, you could buy pure hydrochloric acid. Yeah, that's what you did. You had your chemistry set, and then it'd have the experiments you could do with what came in the chemistry set, and then have a bunch of other ones that you could do. Yeah, again, you could just buy that direct from your local friendly pharmacy. I mean, I say, despite you are just using it as a fertilizer, the fact that it is a active ingredient or the active ingredient in a lot of terrorist bombs. Yeah, it's probably not the best subject to talk about if you don't want your thing demonetized, but hey. But yeah, so the chemistry set, it'd have like the experiments you could do with what was in the chemistry set itself, and then it'd have like a bunch of other experiments where you'd have to like go out and get different chemicals and things. You could literally just either go to the the toy shop to buy little test tubes full of things, or you could go to the chemist and buy stuff. And we're not talking about you needed to be 16 or 18 or whatever. You could go in there as a 8-10-year-old and buy this stuff. It was just one of them things back then. Yeah. I'm heck born late. Yeah. This is. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are certain things I agree with safety wise, but it's taking a lot of the fun out of these things and the experimenting and finding things out the hard way. You know. Now, I didn't know chlorine gas was lethal. I forget what I was actually trying to make that it went wrong and produced that, but yeah, it's a nanny state. But I mean, people do is it's also getting more litigious, so people do sue for things. So the companies have to cover their butts. I mean, there ain't no way they would sell a children's toy now with a spirit burner in it. I mean, hell, even the electronic sets would probably be classed as dangerous now. They were quite fun, even though all you could really do with them was make a radio or make a light flash. Um, yeah, chemistry sets, electronic sets, all the various build-it-yourself kind of toys like Zoids and Lego, and probably the reason why batteries not included. Yeah. But then these days, everything's got lithium batteries in it, which are far more dangerous than any old nickel metal or alkaline or nickel metal or nickel cadmium. We've all seen the videos of lithium cells going bang. I was watching one the other day with an electric scooter that went up. That was scary. I mean, even for the RC cars, if you've got electric RC cars, they run on lithium nowadays. If you're going racing somewhere, you have to keep your cells inside a safe pack, which is a fireproof bag, basically, just in case they do go pop, just in case or when. So everything these days has got a rechargeable battery in it. Has got a lithium battery in it. And the last thing I bought that didn't was my old hair clippers, and they got nickel metal hydrides in them. Well, they did have NiCads, nickel cadmium, but I replaced them with nickel metal hydrides with a higher capacity, just because I got sick of charging the bloody thing so often. But even then, the batteries eventually died, and so it became mains operated. But now Mary got me a new beard trimmer, which works off the shaver socket, so I don't have to unplug two of the fish tanks to shave or to trim the old face fuzz anymore, which is a bonus. Because the two fish tanks that are in the porch actually run an extension lead all the way upstairs to the plug socket just outside the bathroom. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's that bad. This is why I had to stop getting more tanks. I've literally run out of sockets. I've got enough left for an emergency tub if I need to, but that's it. You can definitely see where the sun is reflecting off of the heaters in those tanks now at the top. So I've hit my 2 hours. I haven't had any notifications that anyone else is going live, but I do need something to eat before I collapse in a heap. No one really wants to see that, and my stomach's about to start rumbling as well, and no one wants to hear that. So I will say thank you everyone for tuning in, for watching. Oh, what's a good grinder? Talking for models. Oh, the Proxon Micromot. I've got a cheapy Parkside or Silverline one that runs slowly. As long as you're careful, you're okay. I mean, the cheaper the better, really, because then they're less powerful and you can slow them down with your finger. Yeah, the Proxon is also 5,000. Yeah. Yeah, and I think the one I got is a cheap old Silverline one. I think it does 3,000. I've not melted styrene with it yet. It does the job. I mean, I don't use it very. I say we don't use these things very often, so yeah. Just go gentle, and you're okay. It's a general rule of thumb. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone. I shall say peace out, rock on, bye-bye, and see you next week. Oh, howdy, Griffin. Yeah, you'll be fine with whatever cheap you want, Aaron. Anyway, bye. Sunday shop, do 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 do. Sunday shop, do 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 do. Sunday shop, do 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 do. Sunday shop.